based on a true story, but you believe what you want. My uncle explained to me as he was growing up in Haiti, he had tons of friends. He would play the entire day away. He would go home for lunch and then go back outside to hang out with his playmates. He lived in a rural part of Haiti and having the time of his life until his friends had to go home. Not wanting the fun to end, he walked them to their house. They goofed off on the road, cracking jokes along the way. They had a great time, but by the time he got to their house, he realized it had gotten dark. He'd have to make the long journey back home all by himself. That scared him. My uncle's father, my grandfather, was going to be so upset with him for coming home after dark. Sinister things happen at night. He could handle the punishment his father would give him, but it was walking home alone that would fill him with dread. He couldn't show his friends how scared he was, so he bid them farewell and swore on his heart never to walk them home so late ever again. He started back, trying to savor as much light as he could to propel himself home. My uncle's fears rose as he began to see kerosene lanterns being lit. He picked up the pace, pouring all of his concentration on covering as much ground as he could to make it to his house. The road became desolate. He had to think fast. His mind raced for a shortcut home, so he veered off to the left, walking into the woods. Ahead of him, he could see a group of people dressed in red, gathering. These people were called the Society. It was always wise to stay far away from these people, or you would involuntarily become part of their ritual. What do I mean by that? Once they captured you, your loved ones would never find you again. Now don't get me wrong, my grandfather was not only a hard-working farmer, he was also an Ougon, a witch doctor. Although he spoke with a stutter, people in his village took him very seriously. You would be a fool to harm one of his children. My uncle crouched down and laid on his belly. He used some branches from some banana leaves to hide, crawling back out onto the main road. Once he made it out, he saw a man about 15 feet in front of him, dressed in white shorts and a white shirt. He was relieved. He abandoned all his pride. He was going to catch up to that old man and make small talk with him until he reached home. He prayed the old man was going his way. He picked up his pace, but no matter how hard he tried, the old man was always beyond his reach. But he did not have the option to stop. This went on for several minutes. In desperation, he wanted to call out to the man, but his tongue was stuck to the roof of his mouth. He discovered that he couldn't find his voice. Abruptly, the old man made a sharp left into the field of sugarcane, and all the leaves rustled as he stepped into it and vanished. He simply vanished. My uncle felt lightheaded, and he wondered where that old man went. He kept his eyes on the field of sugarcane until he had to turn a corner. He was met by a cute puppy barking and nipping at his ankles. At first he wanted to shoo the puppy away, but then felt comfort. He'd never seen a puppy like this before. It had a shiny white coat. He never saw a dog so white. It almost glowed in the dark. It happily followed him, barking all the way. My uncle didn't feel so alone. He could tell that he was close to home. He couldn't wait to go inside and go to bed. Just as he walked into the front yard, the puppy disappeared. He could see his father's silhouette in the doorway. He opened his mouth to offer an apology to his father, but the old man's words cut him off. Na pale sou sa pita. Mais, le jou ou vin la kaywa lesa encore, mwen pa voyan rien al chèche ou. Go inside. We'll talk about this later. But the day you ever come home after dark, I won't send anything or anyone to bring you home. Quickly, my uncle scurried inside and went to bed. As he laid there, a new horror enveloped him as he realized what his father was saying to him. The old man dressed in white, the little tiny white puppy that nipped at his ankles, were guardians sent to bring my uncle home. As his eyelids grew heavy with sleep, he knew never to come home after dark. But of course, it wouldn't be the last time.